Stream here on YouTube and Kick Sports Bonanza John on YouTube, on Kick Sports Kick John, ready for Florida State and Northern Illinois in the Tallahassee Regional. Apologies, I was a little late getting on. This game is actually just about to get to first pitch, so I will set the lineups and everything here after this half inning. We need to get right into this here. This is an elimination game between the number 10 national seed Florida State and Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois just lost 21-8 in the previous game to St. John's, dropping them in this elimination game against Florida State. And we're right away. Here's the first pitch. Ball one outside. Again, apologies. This is my fault. I jumped on a little late on this. I thought the first pitch was 7:30, and then I happened to look over, and it was 7:10. So I had to hurry up on here. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that is fouled back. Evens the count, a ball and a strike. John Stetzer, the leadoff hitter here for Northern Illinois. Tell you about the Florida State pitcher here, or about the Northern Illinois pitcher here. John Stetzer leading off for Florida State. Florida State, the visiting team in this game. Two-one pitch, misses again, and it's already 3-1 to the leadoff hitter, John Stetzer. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and it's a foul ball to fill the count, 3-2. To the leadoff hitter for Florida State, Stetzer. And here's the payoff pitch. It is lined into right center. That's going to be a gapper into the right center field and all the way to the wall. It's going to be a leadoff double for Stetzer to begin this one for Florida State. So a good start for the Seminoles here. A leadoff double for John Stetzer. So Stetzer standing at second base. And the pitch here is a ball. To the number 2 hitter in the Seminole lineup here, Braden Dowd, junior out of Clarkston, Michigan. 1-0 pitch is on the ground to first, stepping on the bag for the out there for Northern Illinois. For out number 1, it does advance Stetzer to third base, so the Seminoles here in the first inning have a runner at third with 1 out. And that will now bring up the number 3 hitter for the Seminoles, Brody. I'm going to attempt this. Damali Ure, I hope that's right, as he fouls it off for strike 1. Again, apologies for the late jumping on here. I thought I had an extra 20 minutes. I did not verify the start time on this, which I thought was 7:30, but obviously I was wrong. Runner at first, 1 out for the Seminoles, and the 0-1 is just off the inside corner. That'll even no, they did call it a strike. I'm sorry, 0-2 now. I didn't see the strike call given. 331 hitter this season. 7 home runs, drove in 27, and here's the 0-2 pitch. That's low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nice stop there by Ivan Dahlberg behind the plate to keep that from going to the backstop and saving a run for the moment for Northern Illinois. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That is hit fair down the left field line, and the Seminoles are going to take the early lead here in the first inning as Stetzer comes in to score. RBI double, and it's 1-0. 3 batters into the game in favor of the Seminoles. So the second extra base hit here in the first inning for Florida State. And that will bring up the cleanup hitter for the Seminoles, Hunter Carnes, the Seminole catcher, and he takes strike one. Hunter Carnes, .315 hitter on the year, 6 home runs. He drove in 31. Carnes sends this one into center field pretty deep, but just shy of the warning track. The catch is made, tagging and heading to third and getting to third successfully. Ball gets away momentarily, but not far enough to advance the runner any farther than third. So a tag up gets a Seminole to third base with 2 outs. So the Seminoles a chance to add to their run here in the first. And strike one at the knees here to the number 5 hitter for Florida State, Nathan Smelia, the DH. Senior out of Ashburn, Virginia. A 1 pitch misses outside. .313 hitter this season, 5 home runs, 29 runs batted in. Runner at third with 2 outs, and here's the 1-1 pitch. That's a chopper to short, and the play made over to first base for the third out of the inning, but the Seminoles get the early lead with the run here in the first. Northern Illinois will get their first at bat on the other side, 1-0 Florida State. Out of the chute. So in this Tallahassee Regional, Florida State advancing to this game with a win over Coastal Carolina. That was a game that started last night that got suspended due to weather. They had to finish that up earlier. And then Northern Illinois just played the game before this and absolutely got smashed by St. John's. 21-8 was the final score in that game. I did a game last night on my live stream, Miami, Florida. Florida put 22 on the board. So we have had a lot of offensive output in this game. Winner of this game to play St. John's for the Tallahassee Regional Championship. That 1 game or 2, if needed, to decide this one will be played tomorrow. So bottom of the first inning here, let's take a look at the lineup. Florida State will send out in this, or for Northern Illinois, rather. I keep putting Florida State as a home team, but they're not. Northern Illinois, here's the lineup they will send out. Wyatt Warrow, the left fielder, will lead off. Cole Smith at second base, batting second. Nolan Sandy batting third at shortstop. Gavin Baldwin, the cleanup hitter, he's the first baseman. Marcus Romero DHing and batting fifth. Vinny Spadafora at third base hitting sixth. Caden Robertson hitting seventh in right field. Ivan Dahlberg catching and batting eighth. And Charlie Parcell in center field batting ninth. And rounding out the Northern Illinois batting order in this game. And Cooper Whitted getting the start on the mound for Florida State. Whitted on the year, 3-2 record, his 10th start of the year, 3.57 ERA, 7 walks, 37 strikeouts, 35 and a third innings. Didn't get a whole lot of work in this year, but is getting the start in this elimination game in the Tallahassee Regional. As we head to the bottom of the first, Seminoles plating a run in the top half, and Wyatt Warrow leading it off in the bottom of the first for Northern Illinois and taking a strike. Warrow, team's leading hitter on the season, 371 coming into play today. 1 home run, he's driven in 24. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and the pitch is high, check swing over to third, and no swing, says the third base umpire. That'll even the count, a ball and a strike. Wyatt Warrow, just a freshman for this Northern Illinois team. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That is foul, and that will move the count to 1-2. Comes the 1-2 pitch. Line diving catch at second base. A fine diving play there at second for Carter McCauley. What a defensive play to start it out here in the bottom of the first for Florida State. Wow. A heck of a play. That should be a web gem on SportsCenter tonight. Laying it all out there. Fine play at second base. It'll bring up Braden Dowd here for... No, it won't. It'll bring up Cole Smith for Northern Illinois. Smith, a 365 hitter, 6 home runs. He drove in 48 and ball 1 outside. Boy, they have had some significant weather issues down at Auburn, Alabama all weekend long, and they are in a weather delay again down there. It has not been a good weekend in Auburn to try to get this regional in. Update you on the regional scoreboard as the night goes on. Meanwhile, Cole Smith's ahead of the count here, 2-0. And here's the 2-0 pitch. That's fouled back, and that will make the count 2-1. Huskies defeated Coastal Carolina on Friday, 12-10. Were postponed yesterday to today, which I told you they lose that game 21-8 to St. John's in that winner's bracket game. There's a chopper to third. That's gonna roll foul barely. I wasn't sure if that was gonna roll foul before it passed the third base bag, because Fisher there at third base saw he had absolutely no play, and it did at the last second roll foul. Nice heads-up play there by Cal Fisher, knowing he didn't have a play at first. So the count is 2-2. Two and two the count. Bases empty, 1 out for Northern Illinois. And here's the 2-2 pitch. That's on the ground to short and bobbled by the shortstop, and it's going to be an E6. Cole Smith is going to reach. That's going to be an error, I think, on Gabe Fraser, but that did not take that great of a hop. That took a little bit of a nasty hop there at short. Cole Smith is aboard with 1 out here in the first. Yeah, that thing... be the 59th error of the season for Florida State. As the batter will be Nolan Sandy. Sandy takes ball 1. Sandy, 309 hitter. 2 home runs, 30 runs batted in. I'm giving you these stats for Northern Illinois. I don't know if these stats were updated from the first game or not. My guess is no. So I'm thinking these were stats coming into play today. Throw over to first to check on Cole Smith. Comes the 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss by Nolan Sandy. That'll even the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. At the inning break, I do want to point out something. Swing and a miss on the 1-1 pitch. It's now 1-2. Actually, I'll go ahead and point it out now. There's any new viewers to my channel, the line score that is on the screen, I am going to be about a pitch or two behind what is appearing on the line score because of this delay on my internet. There's unfortunately nothing I can do about it. So it's probably going to be different what's on the line score as compared to what I'm saying. So I always like to point that out. 1-2 pitch misses, now 2-2. But I don't want to hide it because, well, because then I'd be going on scroll and it'd be kind of hard to keep up. And so... 2-2 the count, and here's the 2-2 pitch that just missed outside, and that will fill the count. 3-2 to Nolan Sandy. Talking about the weather in Auburn, Tallahassee hasn't had the greatest of weather this weekend either. Didn't get much in yesterday. There's a throw over on the 3-2 payoff pitch. And actually, I'm actually kind of glad at this. They did not give Gabe Frazier an error on that last play. They scored that an infield hit. So I actually have no problems with that, considering the hop. There's another throw over to first, and that was close. Cole Smith dives back in. That was close at first base. Another 3-2 called, strike 3. Sandy watched that one right down the pipe on a 3-2 pitch and a strikeout for out number 2, and the batter will be the cleanup hitter, Gavin Baldwin. Baldwin coming in, hitting .262, 15 home runs, 58 runs batted in. He is the home run leader on this Northern Illinois team. Runner at first, 2 outs for the Huskies. Strike 1. Okay, now apparently they did give. Okay, I don't know if it just changed or if I looked wrong, but I guess they did give Gabe Frazier an error now on that play at short earlier. Thought I saw Northern Illinois had a hit on the board, but now I see the hit's not on the board, and Florida State has an error on their side. 0-1 is fouled away. 0-2. Big update on that game in Westwood between UCLA and St. Mary's, which I'll update you at the inning break. .02 pitch. That's fouled back. Baldwin stays alive at 0-2. Got a lot of shootouts and offensive slugfest going on around regionals here as the 0-2 pitch misses low. That's going to get away from the catcher, and moving up to second base is Cole Smith. That pitch was a little low. Hunter Carnes not quite able to handle that one as it went to the backstop. So the Huskies get a runner to scoring position with 2 outs. They have scored that a wild pitch. 1-2 pitch on the way is drilled to deep left field. Forget it. Long gone and out of here. 2-1 Huskies on a 2-run home run by Gavin Baldwin that was absolutely crushed to left field. 2-1 Northern Illinois. That was what you call one of those no-doubters. Wow. And just like that, the Huskies go from down a run to up a run. That thing was smashed. There's a wall beyond the outfield wall. It almost went over that second wall. Strike one. I'm not sure offhand exactly what the distances are there on the outfield fence in Tallahassee, but that would have been a home run at any park. That 0-1 is a swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Marcus Romero, the batter here for Northern Illinois. That pitch misses low. Number 5 hitter in the Huskies lineup. And here's the 2-1 pitch. That misses high. Does that count right? 3-1? I thought, yeah, 2-2. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was 0-2 before. Two-two pitch just missed the outside, and that will fill the count. 3-2. 25 pitch first inning here for Cooper Whitted. You know, in an elimination game, 3-2 is called strike 3 on the outside corner. You know, in an elimination game, it's a very short leash on both sides as far as pitchers go. That does it in the bottom of the first, but a 2-run home run for Gavin Baldwin of Northern Illinois gives the Huskies a 2-1 lead after one in this elimination game in the Tallahassee Regional. Said I had an update on that game in Los Angeles between UCLA and St. Mary's. UCLA, the number 1 national seed, they lost their opener back on Friday to St. Mary's, had to come back in the 9th inning to walk off yesterday, or else the number 1 national seed would have been 2 and out. UCLA has been leading this whole game, but St. Mary's has tied that game at 5. And St. Mary's is batting in the bottom. Well, and the 9th inning just ended. So that game in Westwood is heading to extra innings. UCLA and St. Mary's 5-5 heading to the 10th. Other scores, number 3, national seed Georgia's taken a 2-1 lead on Liberty. Top of the 8th inning, Georgia advances to supers with a win there. North Carolina all over East Carolina, 9-3. That game in the top of the 8th. North Carolina looking to advance to supers. Troy is destroying number 8 Florida, 16-5. That game in the top of the 7th. So that game appears to be headed to a winner-take-all game tomorrow in Gainesville. Got a shootout in Morgantown. Kentucky's leading number 16 West Virginia 7-6 in the bottom of the 5th. Kentucky advances to supers with a win there. Georgia Tech trying to get to supers. They've jumped out to a 7-2 lead on Oklahoma. Santa Barbara has an early lead, 1-0 over Texas. So that's a few of the scores going on right now across the country. In that Los Angeles regional that is heading to the 10th inning, that's an elimination game between St. Mary's and UCLA. Cal Poly has advanced to the regional final there already. As we are heading here to the 2nd inning, Ben Barrett leading it off for the Seminoles here in the 2nd, and takes a ball on the first pitch. Second pitch rounded up the middle and through into center field for a base hit. Ben Barrett starts off the 2nd with a leadoff single for Florida State. And the batter will be Gabe Fraser. Fraser on the year hitting .304. Has 1 home run. He's drove in 11. Leadoff man on for the Seminoles here in the 2nd. And showing bunt is Fraser. Pulls back and takes ball 1. The 1-0 pitch on the way to Fraser. Let's see if he shows bunt again. He does not this time and takes a strike. That'll even the count a ball and a strike. Fraser looking on, and the 1-1 pitch on the way. There's a bunt, and it hits Fraser in the batter's box, foul. And that will make the count 1-2. So a 1-2 count here on Gabe Fraser. And here's the 1-2 delivery. That's a little low. 2-2. Carter Cox, starting pitcher for Northern Illinois. And here's the 2-2. That is lined into left center. That's going to get down. Rounding second and heading to third is Ben Barrett. It's runners at the corners with nobody out for the Seminoles here in the second as they try to answer that 2-run bottom of the first. Oh, God. By jumping on the live chat. Good to have you. Good coverage. Well, I appreciate that, man. If you had tuned in from the beginning, I apologize. I was late getting on. In case you missed what I said, I was thinking this was a 7:30 first pitch, and I was going to get everything ready. And oh my goodness, it's 3 minutes away from first pitch. It's 7:10. So apologize for the little mishap there at the beginning. So first and third, nobody out. Carter McCauley, the batter, he shows bunt and pulls back, ball 1. Florida State fan in the live chat here tonight. Here's the 1-0. That misses. It's quickly 2-0 on Carter McCauley. Here's the 2-0 pitch as that misses. It's now, oh no, late strike call. 2-1. Cox looks and the 2-1 pitch. That's hit to the right side. That's going to get a run home. Cox will get the out at first, but the tying run comes across for Florida State, and we are all tied up 2-2 here in the top of the second. On the RBI ground out by Carter McCauley. And Fraser will advance to second. And it'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Cal Fisher. Fisher on the year hitting .238, 3 home runs. He's driven in 28. Again, these stats that I'm giving you for both these teams, I think these were for coming into the day. I don't think they've been updated after both of these teams' previous games. I think that's coming into today. First pitch outside for ball 1. So we've had at least a run scored in every half inning so far. And Florida State has the go-ahead run on at second base. 1-0 pitch swing and a miss by Cal Fisher. That'll even the count 1-1. Lot of national seeds and teams that are hosting. Been a few of them go home already. Nebraska, Southern Miss. So we've lost some national seeds here in the regional round. 1-1 pitch is inside. 2-1. UCLA, the number 1 national seed, they're on the ropes. They're in the 10th inning, 5-5 against St. Mary's. Here's the 2-1. That is a high fly ball into left. That's still holding up. That thing hung up there forever. And the catch is finally made in left field by Wyatt Warrow for out number 2. That thing seemed like it was hanging up there forever. And now we're back to the top of the order for Florida State and John Stetzer. Stetzer doubled to lead off the game for Florida State. Came around to score. And I apologize, Florida State fans in the live chat. Usually before the game starts, I'll finish that after this first pitch, which is high for ball 1. If there's a pronunciation I'm a little iffy on, I'll look it up to see how to pronounce it because of my mess up on the game time. I did not properly look at number 23, so I know there's at least one Florida State fan out there. Is it Demaliure? Is that how that's pronounced? Brody Demaliure? I can look it up here at the inning break. 1-1 pitch is hit foul. 1-2. This screen down a little bit. No, it's not. Okay, I was afraid it probably wasn't, but I'll look it up here at the inning break. Not quite, but close enough. Yeah. Apologies for that. That's 1-2 pitch lined into right center. That's going to get down, and the Seminoles are going to retake the lead on an RBI single by Stetzer. 3-2 Seminoles here in the second. So a run in the top of the first for Florida State, 2 in the bottom of the first for Northern Illinois, and the Seminoles have answered with 2 here in the top of the second. So back and forth we go here early as Braden Dowd will step up. Strike 1. Throw over to first base before the 0-1 pitch. Sliding back in is Stetzer. Oh, 1 pitch. That is a strike. 0-2 now on Braden Dowd. Delamalier. 0-2 pitch is in the air to right. That could be trouble, and it's an over-the-shoulder catch. Boy, I thought that was going to land there in no man's land in right center field, but it's an over-the-shoulder catch for Cole Smith to end the inning. But the Seminoles answer with 2 to retake the lead 3-2 as we head to the bottom of the second. Early shootout going on here in Tallahassee in this elimination game. So it's Delamalier, Brody Delamalier. Okay. He's going to lead off the next inning, so I wanted to try to get that right before that at bat. Thank you, guys. They are in the bottom of the 10th in Los Angeles. St. Mary's has the winning run on at first with 1 out. 5-5 with UCLA. Georgia's added to their lead on Liberty, now 3-1. So we head here to the bottom half of the second inning. It's going to be... Oh, here's another one. Vinny Spatafora leading it off for the Huskies in the bottom of the second. I hope that's right. Spatafora hitting .272 on the year, 3 home runs, 34 runs batted in. So a fun one here so far through the first inning and a half. Seminoles already with 5 hits in this game. How come no live stream on the live chat? As far as showing the game, there's serious copyright restrictions, and for my own, YouTube's gotten very, very strict on that, and I'm still in my first year of live streaming, so that's just not a chance that I'm willing to take. Believe me, I wish I could, but strike one here to lead off the bottom of the second. And strike two, quickly 0-2. Now, I don't know... It's on ESPN Plus right now, but I don't know if after that East Carolina-North Carolina game ends, if they're going to air this game on the ACC network, the rest of it. I don't know. They should, because I don't see that ACC network has anything else scheduled tonight. One-two pitch up the middle and through for a base hit. Northern Illinois leads off the bottom of the second with a leadoff single. And Caden Robertson will step up. Robertson, a .282 hitter, 14 home runs, drove in 61. Second leading home run hitter on this Huskies team. Pitch right down the middle, strike one. It's just gone final in Chapel Hill now. North Carolina heading to Super Regionals. They have defeated East Carolina 9-3. 0-1 pitch is lined foul, and it's quickly 0-2. Oh, and 2 the count on Caden Robertson. And here's the pitch. Just missed the inside, 1-2. One-two pitch on the way. Here it is. That's down in the dirt. Nice stop back there by Hunter Carnes to keep that from going to the backstop. Bob O'Reilly in the live chat. Why no video? Oh my goodness. St. Mary. Okay. Bob O'Reilly, I'll answer your question here at the between batters here. Full count now, 3-2. Three-two payoff pitch instead. It goes a throw to first. Three-two on the way is hit to short. They'll go to second, one on to first. Bad throw, but keeping his foot on the bag at first base is Ben Barrett to complete the double play. A 6-4-3 double play erases the base runner, and now its base is empty with 2 outs. Bob O'Reilly, to answer your question in the live chat, YouTube has some serious copyright restrictions, and so I'm just not one of these live streamers that's willing to take a chance on showing a game and get a copyright strike. YouTube's been getting very strict on that. I know there's some out there that do it. I'm still a fairly new YouTuber, and that's just not a chance I'm willing to take right now. Base is empty, 2 outs here for the Huskies. Ivan Dahlberg is the batter, and there's a strike at the knees. Evens the count 1-1. Number 1 national seed UCLA is out. St. Mary's wins it in the bottom of the 10th, 6-5. So number 1 goes down in the regional round. They almost went 0-2 before having to battle back yesterday, and now they do go down today. So that is the at least 3rd national seed that we have lost in the regional round. Okay, yeah, Bob, I'm sorry. I appreciate you tuning in. I'm sorry, but yeah, I just can't. Yeah. That pitch fouled away. Stays 1-2. Now, the North Carolina, Bob, if you're still with the North Carolina game ended, you might switch over to the ACC network to see if they're showing this. I don't see any reason they wouldn't with that game ending, but I don't know if they are or not. 1-2 pitch is fouled back. One-two look out. That pitch up and in. 2-2. They're talking about Stanford football on the ACC network. Yeah, that's I'm not one to criticize. I really try my best not to criticize 2-2 pitches outside, but ESPN over the weekend on this college baseball regional weekend, they have made some questionable programming decisions this weekend all across the ESPN networks. Yeah, there's no reason whatsoever you need to be showing a show about Stanford football, and there's a hit batter on a 3-2 pitch. So Dahlberg hit by the pitch, and it brings up Charlie Parcell. So in Los Angeles, it will be the 4 seed and the 3 seed in the Los Angeles region, St. Mary's and Cal Poly, for the Los Angeles Regional Championship. Cal Poly just needs 1 win. St. Mary's will have to win them both. So UCLA loses twice, both to St. Mary's. This ball lifted into right field, curving foul into the seats. Strike 1. I did not watch the game yesterday in the Women's College World Series, but apparently, from my understanding, ABC lost the feed completely for a little while in that game. Again, that may not have been no fault of theirs, but 0-1 pitch misses. That'll even the count 1-1. One pitch on the way. That missed. I don't know where, but it's called a ball. 2-1. Two-one pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. 2-2. 2-2 payoff pitch. That's foul. We'll do it again. Lineup will reset to the top of the order. Wyatt Warrow on deck. Another 2-2 pitch. On the ground to right at the first baseman, and stepping on the bag is Ben Barrett for out number 3. So for the first time in a half inning, a team does not score. We head to the third elimination game in Tallahassee. Seminoles lead at 3-2. So we're starting to get some teams punching their ticket to Super Regionals. And they have resumed again in Auburn, Alabama, who has just been saddled with weather issues all weekend. They're finally back underway. What's that about my end? So Florida, a grand slam home run to cut into that Troy lead 16-9. I did that Miami and Florida game on my live stream last night. It was like batting practice for the Gators last night against that Miami pitching staff. 7 home runs for the Gators last night, 5 in the 8th inning. 22-10 was that final score. And Florida is trailing here 16-9, but after what I saw last night with the Gators, that thing's still not over. Oklahoma's taken the lead over Georgia Tech 9-8. Bottom of the 4th inning in Atlanta. Back and forth game between Kansas and Arkansas. Kansas leads that game 6-5, top of the 5th. Yeah, man, that game lasted. That was absolutely nuts last night, that Miami-Florida game. We are here in the Tallahassee Regional. Winner of this game advances to the regional final against St. John's. Loser will see their season come to an end. Now, the winner of this regional will be paired up against the winner of that Tuscaloosa regional, with Alabama, the number 7 national seed over there. They play Oklahoma State for the regional championship out there in Tuscaloosa. First pitch, top 3, ball 1. One-0 pitch outside, 2-0. Brody, I'm going to take a stat. Delamalure is the batter. Yeah, Clay. Yeah, I was talking about that. Is hit into deep left center, but it's going to hold up, and the catch is made out there in left center field by Wyatt Warrow for the first out. Yeah, I have. Yeah, we're just Clay. I don't know if you've been with, but yeah, I have no earthly idea why, if you're the ACC network, after that North Carolina game ended, you would not show this instead of some apparently documentary on Stanford football or something that's airing. Here's Hunter Carnes, the cleanup hitter. That's foul for strike 1. So appreciate you tuning in with me, though. And again, I apologize about the no live stream. I'm I just can't. It's not an opportunity I want to take. So I'm sorry about the no video. But I'll keep you updated with the game as best I can. 0-1 pitch misses high, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That is air-mailed. 2-1. Good thing for Northern Illinois. There was nobody on base there because that ball. It's 2-1 pitch. On the ground is short. And there's a bobble. Regroups in time to get the out. Boy, there was a bobble there at short by Nolan Sandy, but kept the ball in front of him and was still able to regroup to get the runner by a step. Base is empty, 2 outs for the Seminoles. That's ball is hit off the pitcher, hit to the shortstop, throw to first in time. Now they may want to look. Training staff, I'm sure, is going to have a look at Carter Cox as that ball was lined right back to him and off of him. Looked like it hit right off the side of his left knee. So I'm sure the training staff will have a look at Carter Cox, but the Seminoles retired in the 3rd inning. Bottom of the 3rd coming up in Tallahassee. Seminoles 3, Huskies 2. Huskies will have the top of the order. Wyatt Warrow, Cole Smith, and Nolan Sandy due up in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Well, now, ACC Network on their guide says NCAA Tournament Regionals, but that is obviously not what's airing. So, yeah, that's, I mentioned it earlier. ESPN and Disney have made some questionable programming decisions with baseball regionals this weekend, and this decision here is definitely up there. Bottom of the 3rd inning we go. Wyatt Warrow, the top of the order for the Huskies. Warrow 0 for 1. I agree. And the live chat, too much baseball to not be. This is the, I think, the best weekend of the season for college baseball. You have all this going on in the regionals. Super regional weekend is fun too, but you don't have as much action going on. Yeah, there's 0-1 pitch is hit deep into left field, but it's going to stay in play, and the catch made out there for out number 1 for John Stetzer. And Warrow is retired, and that'll bring up Cole Smith. Yeah, there's a 0 reason whatsoever the ACC network should not be airing this game. Cole Smith scored back in the 1st inning on the Baldwin 2-run homer and takes one on the inside corner, strike 1. I do appreciate all of y'all tuning in, joining me tonight, though. And I appreciate all y'all tuning in on the live chat as well. I like you guys getting involved like this. I'll paint as best picture as I can for you. 0-1 pitch, that's a little outside. They're going to check over to first base on the check swing and no swing, says the first base umpire, and it'll be 1-1 now. One pitch is inside, 2-1. There's a tapper back to the pitcher and the turn and the throw to first in time for out number 2. Oh, my end live chat. I appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, I'm doing my best for you and enjoy doing these live streams. They have the Kansas game. That's on ESPN2. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, as Nolan Sandy steps up here, I'm not exactly sure how they determine, because you don't know the matchups until all the previous days games are over. So I don't know how they determine, obviously, besides the obvious, the SEC teams on the SEC network, and they say obviously all that. But I don't know how they determine what games the linear ESPNs, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, I don't know how they determine what games they're going to air the following day. I have no idea what determination they use. And even if they don't put this game on ACC Network, ESPN News is an overflow channel, but they're probably showing something like Major League Fly Fishing or something. They have the oddest events on there. 0-2 pitch is outside, ball one. They do have that squeeze play, which is like NFL Red Zone, where it takes you all around everybody. But again, you have to have the Plus app for that. Well, I think ESPN2 was showing it earlier in one of the rain delay games, but 1-2 pitch just misses, 2-2. Cornhole, probably. Yeah, right. Yeah. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That ball is drilled, but well foul. Count will stay 2-2. Yeah, I find it comical when I turn on the TV. Sometimes I'll just turn or look at the guide over on ESPN News just to see what odd event is airing. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Check swing foul. Nolan Sandy staying alive here. This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. 62 pitches already for Cooper Whitted. Two is foul again. It's actually the Papa Shot champion. Yeah, so that's Jay Jackson, would appreciate you tuning. Whitted is on the hill right now for Florida State. He started this game, Cooper Whitted. 2-2 pitch on the way, right down the middle, strike three. Cooper Whitted with his 3rd strikeout. Huskies retired in the 3rd. We head to the 4th. Seminoles still lead at 3-2. Somebody just a message in the live chat. Sorry about Jaden Anderson. Why we actually were just talking about that before you jumped in on the live stream. We are absolutely befuddled why the ACC network is not. They had the East Carolina North Carolina game on earlier, but that thing ended 20 minutes ago, and apparently I haven't got it because I've got the TV on, but apparently ESP or ACC network showing something on Stanford football. So it's so yes, we are all befuddled why this game is not on ACC network, or at least on ESPN News, but apparently they've got their Papa Shot audience, which is probably what, 10. Am I Florida State alumni? I am not Florida State alumni. I am just a neutral sports fan that just enjoys bringing this stuff to you. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you tuning in on the live stream tonight, and appreciate all of y'all tonight. I will try. I do still have a full-time job, so no guarantee. I will try to be on tomorrow night for one of the regional championship games. No idea what time or which one yet. That, of course, won't be decided until after the action tonight. But I'll try and jump on tomorrow night, job situation permitting. As we head to the middle innings here, top of the 4th inning, Seminoles lead at 3-2. Ben Barrett leading it off here in the Seminoles' fourth inning. 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for Florida State. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for Northern Illinois so far. First pitch, top 4, right down the middle, strike 1. Authentic ACC with the Stanford Cardinals, yeah. 0-1 pitch, there's a strike. And it's, like I say, I try my best not to criticize other state networks and all that. I try my best not to, but sometimes you just make decisions that. Oh, it's my pleasure, Abba. There's no other live streams doing this game across YouTube, huh? Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's foul. Count stays 1-2. Where was I going? I was saying something. I kind of lost my train of thought. Oh, I know what I was saying. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's a strikeout. Here in the top of the 4th inning, strikeout for Carter Cox. That's his first of the game. And it will bring up Gabe Frazier. About the credit, I really do not like criticizing network's decision, but sometimes, and it frustrates me because we have a former news anchor. I'm just outside Indianapolis, so I'm in the Indianapolis TV market. We have a former sports reporter that worked in the Indianapolis market that is working for ACC Network. That's why. That's one of the reasons I get so frustrated, because she is a phenomenal reporter. Bunt foul here for strike 1. I don't want to say who it is because I don't want to make it, but Frazier singled and scored a run for the Seminoles, his first time up. Oh, 1 pitch is outside, 1-1. Carter McCulley on deck for the Seminoles. And here's the 1-1 pitch. That is outside, and that will move the count to 2-1. Give you another regional scoreboard update coming up here at the half inning break. Two-one pitch. That hits the inside corner, strike 2. I don't think Gabe Frazier was too happy with that call. College baseball, not like Major League Baseball. They don't have the ABS challenge system, so there's no ball strike challenges at the college level. At least not yet. 2-2 is low, and the count goes full. Devin Lynch, a site to watch live. Yeah, ESPN Plus is the only place that's carrying this game. Head-scratchingly. Oh, got a Husky fan that has just entered the live chat. That is hit foul down the right field line. Count stays 3-2. Luke Laux, the head coach of the Florida State men's basketball team, in attendance tonight. Clay in the live chat, yeah. 3-2 pitches, foul. I know it's 2 years after the fact, but I'm still having trouble getting used to Stanford and Cal in the ACC. My end, yeah, it should be on ESPN Plus. That's where I've got it. Unless you're talking about like over linear. Here's a 3-2 payoff pitch once again. Ball 4. And there's a 1-out walk here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And the batter will be Carter McCulley. We have got some close ball games going on across the country right now. First pitch is a strike to Carter McCauley. McCauley drove in a run with an RBI groundout back in the second. 0-1 pitch, that's outside. That'll even the count 1-1. Cox looks over at first and delivers the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Martin in the live chat. Did UCLA lose to St. Mary's? I will give a scoreboard update at the next half inning. I got to give you a little tease right there. Yeah. Excuse me. I'll update the scoreboard at the half inning. 1-2 hit foul. Excuse me. Clay in the live chat. Yeah, you make a good point. Yeah, I like the conferences back when they were just geographically aligned, which is those days appear, unfortunately, to be over. 2-2 pitch instead of throw over to first. Two pitch on the way. Once again. Inside, and that will fill the count. Martin, Northern Illinois now in the Mountain West for football. Yeah, that's a move I'm not quite sure about either. Swing and a miss on the 3-2, and now they have the runner picked off between first and second, and the tag applied for an inning-ending double play. So I guess in essence, a strike him out, throw him out, double play, and the Florida State Seminoles are done in the top of the fourth. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Seminoles lead this game 3-2. Somebody in the live chat, big Bulls fan, what channel is this game on? ESPN Plus is the only place you're going to find this one. Regional scoreboard. Somebody was talking about the UCLA, St. Mary's in the bottom of the 10th inning with a walk-off win over UCLA, 6-5, eliminating the #1 national seed from the NCAA Baseball Regional. So that Los Angeles regional final is the 3 and 4 seeds in that region, St. Mary's and Cal Poly. So #1 is out. #2, Georgia Tech trailing Oklahoma 10-8 in a shootout there. That game in the top of the 5th inning in Atlanta. Georgia Tech has not lost yet, so even if Georgia Tech loses that game, they'll have a chance in that winner-take-all game tomorrow. Obviously, Oklahoma needs that win to force that winner-take-all game. #3, Georgia has just defeated Liberty 6-1. So #3 national seed Georgia off to the Super Regionals next week. Oh, Martin Fassick, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. #4, Auburn has come back to tie UCF 2-2. That's an elimination game. That game in the top of the 4th inning. Auburn's been fighting weather issues all weekend long down there. That's just some of the games that have gone final. #5, North Carolina defeats East Carolina 9-3. North Carolina off to Super Regionals. #6, Texas trailing UC Santa Barbara 3-2. That game in the top of the 7th. Texas will have to lose twice there. Santa Barbara will have to beat them twice. They're leading right now. And just underway in Tuscaloosa, number 7, Alabama and Oklahoma State. Alabama scoreless in their half of the first. Bottom of the fourth inning here. Huskies down a run. And the first pitch upstairs. 4-1 to Gavin Baldwin, who hit that 2-run home run back in the first inning. That at the time gave Northern Illinois a 2-1 lead before the 2-run rally in the second for the Seminoles. 1-0 misses outside, 2-1. And yes, Noel Hammer, thank you for that update. It is now a final, it looks like, in Gainesville. Troy forces a winner-take-all against Florida tomorrow. Troy wins it 16-11. So even though I was mentioning earlier, I did that Miami-Florida game last night, which was insane. So even though Florida is still playing for regional title, in their last 2 games against Miami last night, against Troy today, they've given up 26 runs in those 2 games. Now, granted, they've scored 33, but it's going to have to get that pitching figured out, I think, if you're Florida. Yeah, that's a good point. The offense not doing much. Yeah, the pitchers have settled down here the last couple innings. 3-1 is lifted in the air to right, pretty deep, and that ball is gone. Baldwin sends it out for the second time tonight and ties this game at 3 here in the bottom of the fourth. Baldwin hit a no-doubter back in the first inning, and Baldwin crushed another one, this time to right field. And we are tied 3-3. So 2 home runs on the night for Baldwin give him 17 now on the season, and RBI number 61. And we're back square in this game, 3-3. Ball 1 here to Marcus Romero. Strikeout victim his first time up. 1-0 misses outside. It's 2-0. And now we're going to get a visit to the mound. Whitted getting a visit here. Yeah, DK Newer in the live chat. Yeah, you know, in an elimination game, both these pitchers are on very short leashes. On the other hand, if you're Northern Illinois, well, actually both these teams, because there's no tomorrow. So both these pitchers are on very short leashes, which I know will limit you for tomorrow if you go too much into the bullpen, but you have to get to tomorrow first. 2-0 pitch on the way is lined into right center field. That's going to be caught on a running grab out there in right center by Braden Dowd for the first out here in the top of the fourth inning. Northern Illinois ran out 8 pitchers. Well, I figured, I didn't see the full line score of that game, but I figured when they gave up 21 runs to St. John's that the bullpen probably got a workout in that game. Base is empty, 1 out here for Vinny Spadafora. He's 1 for 1 in the game and takes ball 1. Singled back in the second inning. 1-0 pitch. It hits the inside corner for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch that misses off the plate. 2-1. Who would come out? There'll be O'Leary, Purcell. Well, that 2-1 misses too. It's 3-1. I'm going to look at as a 3-1 pitch misses up and in for ball 4. So that's a 1-out walk. And that will bring up Caden Robertson. Let me look at... So Florida State, in the completion of that suspended game earlier today, answering the live chatter's question here, Purcell, they did bring in Purcell for an inning. He only threw 15 pitches, so that's probably not going to be a real big factor. And however, that is going to do it for Whitted, as Whitted will exit here after 3 1/3 innings. Right on cue, Dinky. Now we're on the live chat. Make the pitching change now, and indeed, a pitching change is going to be made. So Whitted done after 3 1/3 innings. Gave up 3 hits, 3 runs, but just this one here that was earned. 3 strikeouts. He is responsible for the runner at first base. And the new Seminoles pitcher coming in will be... I don't know who the new Seminole pitcher is coming in. Try and tell you here in just a second who the new pitcher is for Florida State. I did not see who was went to commercial before they showed who it was coming out of the bullpen. I didn't see them showing anybody warming in the bullpen. Okay, it's Chris. Okay. All right, so... Okay, Chris Kanai. Okay, you're listening to the radio. Okay. Yeah, because they're going on this site, that then they're a little slow on updating here. It is. So Chris Kanai in to pitch for Florida State. Making his 25th appearance of the year. He's 4-0, 3.05 ERA, 17 walks, 50 strikeouts, 41 1/3 inning. So over a strikeout an inning for Kanai. Inherits a runner at first with 1 out in a tie game here at the bottom of the 4th. And Kanai's first pitch is ball 1. One and 0. Kanai's 1-0 pitch. That is lifted in the air to center. Easy play out there in center field. Oh, and now he misplayed it. I don't know if he lost it in the lights or what, but the ball drops. Wait, I don't know if Dowd lost that in the lights or what happened, but the ball fell on the outfield grass, and it's going to be a single. It is kind of that twilight hour now in Tallahassee, so the lights very well may have played a factor right there. Oh, yeah, you saw, okay, I just saw the replay. I didn't see that live. He couldn't find it. He lost it. He didn't know where the ball was. And that time of the night where that may start to be a factor for about 15, 20 minutes. Swing and a miss here for strike one. So the Huskies have 2 on with 1 out here, trying to break this 3-3 tie here in the bottom of the 4th. 0-1 pitch downstairs. Nice stop back there to keep that from going to the backstop. Good stop by Hunter Carnes. One pitch, swing and a miss. 1-2. One-two lined into center, and this time it's a diving catch out there in center field. No, wow. And that's going to be an inning-ending double play as the runner is doubled up off second base. So a great bounce back there by Braden Dowd after losing the ball in the lights on the previous play. Comes back to make a web gem diving stop, or diving catch rather, to keep this game tied, because that for sure would have given Northern Illinois the lead. They do tie it on the second home run of the game for Gavin Baldwin, and we are 3-3 heading to the 5th. Fine play there in center field by Dowd. Yeah, the Northern Illinois runner at second base, which was Spadafora, was halfway around third when that catch was made. He obviously thought that thing was going to drop in, and he ended up being easily doubled off at second base. What a play by Dowd in center field. That may have saved 2 runs, because if he dove and missed that very well may have went by him. Invincible 0980. Is this the only YouTube channel streaming? Somebody else in the live chat mentioned that they didn't see it anywhere else. So yeah, apparently I am. Seminoles here in the top of the 5th inning. It'll be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters, Cal Fisher, and then the top of the order, Stetzer and Dowd, who will bat third after that fine defensive play to end the bottom of the 4th. Okay, appreciate that update in the live chat. Yeah, I guess I'm it. Hey, I'm glad to do it, guy. My absolute pleasure. First pitch, top 5 in the air to right. That's hit pretty well, but it's going to hold up and caught just at the edge of the warning track in right field by Caden Robertson for out number 1. I am going to ask you guys in the live chat to drop me a message. I've been having a little bit of issues with my little headset and the speaker on the computer. Am I too loud? Am I not loud enough? Let me know either way. My voice sometimes tends to carry, so if I'm getting a little loud, let me know. One down here in the top of the fifth, and we're back to the top of the order. John Stetzer. 2 for 2 so far tonight. Okay, I sound fine. Okay, that's all I needed. Thank you. Here's the pitch. That is lined into center field. That one's going to be caught out there in left center for out number 2 as Charlie Parcell makes the catch. Yeah, they've given 2 a little bit of a ride here, but just ends up lazy flyouts to the outfield. GOYT, I appreciate that, man. Don't get on here as much as I would like, but definitely appreciate that. Here's Dowd, who made that great defensive play in center field that ended the bottom of the fourth coming up here. He's 0 for 2 at the plate so far tonight. And strike 1. You guys have been absolutely awesome in the live chat tonight. Keep it coming. 0-1 is foul, and it's quickly 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch, that will miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. That is grounded into right center field for a base hit. So Dowd with a 2-out single here in the bottom of the 5th inning, or in the top of the 5th inning. I keep wanting to put Florida State as the home team in this game. They're not, so runner at first with 2 outs. And now, before this at bat here, the catcher Ivan Dahlberg going out to have a word with his pitcher prior to this at bat. Keeping an eye on this scoreboard across the country here. So following the meeting on the mound, here's the pitch, strike 1 at the knees. There's a 0-1 pitch. There's a strike going 2. Live chatter just putting a message in there. DK, now we should get into that bullpen. Knowles should score. Yeah, the Northern Illinois bullpen definitely got worked in that earlier game. 0-2 pitch, throw over to first base. Now, see, this is the play I have a problem with. There's a runner at first. There's 2 outs and 2 strikes on the batter. Do not worry about the runner at first base, because you get this batter, you're out of the inning. 0-2 pitch. That's bounced to third. And the play over to first base in time to retire the Seminoles in the top of the 5th inning. They get a 2-out single. But Strand Dowd at first. Midway point in this elimination game. Seminoles Huskies 3-3. When we win this game, do you think St. John's will be depleted pitching? Well, St. John's, I can't remember offhand. I know that obviously won their first game, but I can't remember. That was that 6-5 game. That's right. St. John's had the day off yesterday, so that, and they used 3 pitchers in that Florida State game. I think St. John's bullpen will be fine. Yeah, they used 4 pitchers today against Northern Illinois. Yeah, as far as overall, I think St. John's will be fine on the pitching staff. See if I see any major updates on any of these games going on right now. Of course, the big story of the day, I've mentioned it a couple times, but in case you missed it, the #1 national seed, UCLA, they are out. St. Mary's beat them again for the second time, 6-5 in 10 innings, knocking out the #1 national seed in the regional round. So bottom 5 here, first pitch right down the middle, strike 1. Strike 1 pitch, that is right down the middle for strike 2. 0-2, oh. Didn't realize this page didn't update, sorry guys. Charlie Parcell, the batter for Northern Illinois. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's down in the dirt, 1-2. One-two pitch. That's hit foul, first base side. Count remains 1-2. One-two pitch, that's high, 2-2. Two-two pitch. Upstairs, full count. That's a good point there in the live chat. Yeah, St. John's, yeah, they haven't lost yet, so whoever wins this game will have to beat them twice tomorrow. That's why it is so important in these regionals to not fall into the elimination bracket. 2-2 is, or 3-2 rather, is fouled away. Three-two payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Parcell goes down on strikes for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th, and we're back to the top of the order for the Huskies. Wyatt Warrow. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Here comes the strike 1 pitch off the plate. That'll even the count 1-1. One pitch. That just missed the outside corner. 2-1. Two-one pitch. Check swing. Went around according to the third base umpire. 2-2. 2-2 pitch. That's off the plate, and that will run the count full, 3-2. Three-two payoff pitch, fouled away, and we'll do it again. Another 3-2. That is on the ground to first. And the underhand throw to the pitcher, covering just in time to get the out at first base for out number 2. That was a close play there at first base. So bases empty, 2 outs for Cole Smith. 0 for 2 in the game so far. Takes low and outside, ball 1. One-zero pitch hit foul. That will even the count, a ball and a strike. One-one pitch. That's up and in. 2-1. Here comes a 2-1. That is hit down the right side and foul into the seats. 2-2. Through 2-2 pitch, that misses outside, and that will fill the count again, 3-2. Three-two and foul. Payoff pitch called, strike 3. Nair delivers strike 3 down the pipe. Huskies down in the 5th. We head to the 6th. 3-3, Seminoles and Huskies. So a good bottom of the 5th inning for the Seminoles, and especially Nair on the mound. As we are heading to the 6th inning, 3-3 our score. Update on this scoreboard. Kentucky 3 outs away from punching their ticket to Super Regionals. Kentucky leading number 16, West Virginia 9-6. That game heading to the 9th. Auburn's come back to take a 3-2 lead over UCF. That game in the bottom of the 5th. They're back underway in Auburn after all those weather delays over the weekend. Winner to take on possibly I don't think there's any possibly about it, the surprise team that has made the run to the regional final. The Milwaukee Panthers await the winner of that UCF Auburn game in the Auburn regional final. Milwaukee entered the Horizon League tournament with a 22-31 record, but they ran through the Horizon League tournament, won 3 straight to get in the NCAA Regionals, and they've gone and beat and won their first 2 games in the Auburn Regional. So the Milwaukee Panthers at 27-31 record are 1 win away from a trip to the Supers. Oklahoma leading number 2 Georgia Tech 10-8, bottom of the 6th. Number 6 Texas has come back to take the lead on Santa Barbara 5-3. Number 15 Kansas 11-7 over Arkansas. Kansas trying to punch their ticket to Supers. First pitch, top 6, strike 1. To the leadoff batter for the Seminoles here in the 6th inning. Hunter Carnes. And the 0-1 is low. Counts even 1-1. Carnes hitless in 2 trips tonight so far. It's Kinnear. Okay. 1-1, a swing and a miss. 1-2. Yeah, again, apologies. I mentioned this earlier if you were not with, but I'll mention again. Usually I prep for these games because I just kind of just do random games. The 1-2 pitch way outside, 2-2. I jacked up thinking this game was first pitch 7:30 and it was 7:10. So I didn't get to do all the prep. I had to rush on and get on here. So I didn't do the proper prep that I usually do, and name pronunciations is the main thing in that. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and the throw down to first base to complete the out for out number 1. One down here in the top of the 6th inning. And ball 1. One 0 pitch is downstairs, now 2-0. Oh, I appreciate that, Olammer. Thank you. 2-0 pitch is lined into center, hit pretty well, and a leaping catch on the warning track in center field by Charlie Parcell. Well, that gave that one a ride, but to straightaway center field, and Parcell able to track it down for out number 2. Yeah, thank you, J-Jack. No, that's the one thing. That's the one thing I don't like doing is messing up name pronunciations. And when I mess these up, I get very frustrated with myself when I'm because I try to do my best to do all that research on name pronunciation. So when I mess one up, I don't like that. Ben Barrett, the batter, with the bases empty and 2 outs, and the pitch outside, 1-1. Yeah, he just missed a home run there. Sent it to the wrong part of the ballpark there, center field. Barrett lines this one into left center. That's going to get down. Barrett rounding first, heading for second. The throw offline, and Barrett slides in with a 2-out double here in the top of the 6th inning. So the Seminoles have a runner in scoring position here with 2 outs in the 6th. And Gabe Fraser will be the batter. John Robert Lovelace in the live chat. Are you talking to me where I'm watching at? I'm actually located just south of Indianapolis. And or are you? I didn't know City or if you ESPN Plus if you're referring to what stations airing it. I didn't know if you were asking city wise or TV wise. So I gave you both answers. Strike one. Strike one pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Rain dances finally produced rain. Now we need some offensive dances. Oh, 2 pitch. Upstairs, 1-2. If you need rain down there in Florida, I'll send you some of the rain we've had in Indiana because we're basically an underwater sea right now, as much rain as we've had over here. Oh, Ronald Shores, it's my pleasure. Glad to do it. 1-2 pitch. Oh, it hit him. Oh, looked like he got hit on the left elbow or the left arm somewhere. So a hit batter puts runners at first and second with 2 outs. Well, he feels that right now, and he's going to really feel that in the morning. See where this got him. Oh, no, it got him right up on the left hand. Ouch. Looked like it got him just under the left red. Yikes. Yeah, that's gonna sting. So 2 on with 2 outs. Strike called to Carter McCulley. NIU pitchers out of gas. Well, I know they used 8 pitchers in the game earlier today against St. John's. I know they're trying to avoid going to that bullpen as long as they can. But Cox is now about to throw his 94th pitch, and it's fouled away. It's 0-2. McCulley 0 for 2. He does have an RBI ground out in the game. Oh, 2 pitch. That just missed. 1-2. You can't find any pirating sites for this game, so I'm back. Glad to have you back, Big Bulls fan. 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Cox gets McCulley looking, and that does it for Florida State in the 6th. They strand 2. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. We stay 3-3. Seminoles and Huskies. Oh, that pitch right down the middle. Obviously, that's not what McCulley was looking for. Yeah, missed opportunity there for the Seminoles. Getting into the late innings here, you don't know how many more of those you have left. Pitching has really settled down since that 2nd inning. It was 3-2 after an inning and a half, but we've only had the 1 run since then on Gavin Baldwin's 2nd home run of the game. Yeah, I don't know if that was necessarily a bad on the line. I don't know if that was necessarily a bad at bat. It's just obviously Carter McCulley was looking on that last 3rd strike call. He was obviously looking for a different pitch than what Carter Cox threw him. It will be Nolan Sandy, Gavin Baldwin, and Marcus Romero due up here in the bottom of the 6th for Northern Illinois. Again, so far we have had 3 national seeds that have gone down in the regional round. UCLA, Southern Miss, Nebraska. Am I missing somebody? First pitch, bottom 6 is fouled away, strike 1. Sandy 0 for 2 with a couple strikeouts in this game. Strikeouts were against Whitted. First time he's facing Kinnear. One pitch is a strike, 1-2. Kinnear looks in and delivers the 1-2 pitch. Hit foul, stay alive. Sandy fouled that off his foot. He's going to have to walk this one off a little bit. One-two pitch from Kinnear. Hit foul again. Sandy staying alive here. One-two pitch on the way once again. Check swing. Did he go around? No. Third base umpire says no. That looked. I mean, let's see. I hope they show that one again. That looked close. Let's see here. No, he did hold up. Two. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Santee goes down. Third strikeout for Kinnear. And now here comes the big weapon tonight for Northern Illinois, Gavin Baldwin. 2 for 2 with 2 home runs. Right spot for the Seminoles as you're getting them up there with the bases empty. Kinnear's first pitch to him outside, ball 1. This is the first time he's seen Kinnear in this game. One-zero pitch, strike 1. One pitch to Baldwin. Check swing, went around. 1-2. That one was way low. Baldwin couldn't hold up. Kinnear a strike away from retiring Baldwin. 1-2, that's down low, 2-2. I think he was hoping he would get him to chase again, but he did not. Two pitch to Baldwin. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Kinnear strikes out Baldwin for out number 2. And here comes Marcus Romero. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Yeah, that's a big out for Kinnear, retiring Baldwin. Ramiro up 0 for 2 tonight. Strike one pitch is a little low, 1-1. Kinnear's at 42 pitches. How much longer is he going to go here? Out of the bullpen. One pitch. Strike two at the knees. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Down in the dirt, 2-2. Well, I say dirt. I don't know. Is that dirt or is that turf? I can't tell. Nonetheless, it's low. 2-2 pitch. Check swing. No swing, says the first base umpire. Full count. Second close check swing. Yeah, he was able to hold up too. Here comes the 3-2 payoff. Called strike three on the outside corner. Kinnear with strikeout. Number 5, I believe. That does it for the Huskies in the 6th. We head to the late innings. Seminoles and Huskies, 3-3. It is 5 strikeouts for Chris Kinnear, and that ties a career high for strikeouts in a game for Kinnear. So we head to the late innings here, 3-3. A good one in this elimination game in Tallahassee. Get you updated. There's games currently going and games still to come. They're underway in Eugene. What a matchup this is for the regional championship there in Eugene. The Civil War on the baseball field. Oregon and Oregon State for the Eugene regional title. They are underway out there. No score in the first. Texas A&M and USC underway out in College Station. Underway in the championship of the Hattiesburg Regional. I don't know, just like I don't know that anybody saw that regional final coming in Los Angeles between Cal Poly and St. Mary's. I don't know that anybody anticipated this regional final in Hattiesburg either. Little Rock and Jacksonville State. DJ Kinnear, pitch count. So Chris Kinnear, I believe, is like at 45, 46 pitches. So that's why I say I don't know how much longer he's going to go. Carter Cox, who's back out on the mound for the Huskies, is at 96. Again, the Huskies used 8 pitchers in that game earlier today. That 21-8 loss to St. John's. First pitch, top 7, lined into right center field, and that's going to get down. And it's going to be a leadoff single here in the top of the 7th inning. So a good start for the Seminoles here. So leadoff single for Cal Fisher gets us back to the top of the order and John Stetzer. Stetzer on the night is 2 for 3. Drove in a run and scored a run. Strike one. This will be the 100th pitch for Carter Cox tonight for Northern Illinois. Oh, one hit to third. They go to second, one, and dropping the ball. They're going to say it's on the transfer. So they do get the out at second. Second base umpire says the drop was on the transfer. And let's see if Florida State is going to challenge this. Okay, here's the play. Hit to third. There's the second. Yeah, that was on the transfer. So that out should stand. Now the umpires are getting together here. And now so we are going to have a challenge on that out call at second base. But from what I saw, that was definitely on the transfer. Link Jarrett was going out there to have a word with the umpire. Call on the field was out. We're going to look at it here again. Hit to third. Throw to second. Well, they froze it for some reason. He's got it right there, and then, yeah, it sure looks like that's a... Well, now, wait a minute. Is his... And they have confirmed that he is out. So the call stands. That did look like the correct call. It did look like it was on the transfer. I was actually questioning his foot, but they if it had actually missed the second base bag, but when they showed it, he did have his foot on the bag, and clearly the ball came out on the transfer. Throw over to first here and diving back in safely. Oh, and 1 is the count here on Braden Dowd. And that pitch misses for a ball. Wait a minute. I don't think that score bug is right. I don't think we've had a pitch yet because we had the challenge. It should be, that was a ball, so it should be 1-0. Okay, yeah, they fixed it. It's 1-0. 1-0 pitch. That's up and in. 2-0. Dowd has singled in 3 at-bats tonight for Florida State. 2-0 pitch. That's down the middle for strike one. 2-1. Cox, 2-1 pitch. Again, the throw over to first. Two-one pitch. That is hit a ton. Deep right field, back, and that ball is foul. Oh. Just hooked it. Boy, Dowd almost made it 5-3. Just could not keep it fair. Here's the 2-2 pitch outside, full count. Hazmat in the live chat, obviously, at Seminoles. So, yeah, that was close. Just pulled it a little too much. Here's the 3-2 payoff. That has popped up. Oh, Dowd frustrated with that one. Oh, and now the runner's caught off the bag and barely gets back to first base. I have no idea. I have no idea what Stetzer was doing there. He was almost to second base on a pop-out on the infield. I have no idea what Stetzer was doing there. Wow. And now they're calling him out. They're calling Stetzer out. And that's going to be the third out. Now, wait a minute here. I don't know. They have just called Stetzer out at first base. Obviously, when I'm doing these live streams, I have the sound down, so I don't always hear what's going on. I'm not sure exactly what the issue was with Stetzer, but they have called him out at first base for an inning-ending double play. Let's see here. Okay, here's... Oh, he went past second base and then never tagged second base back, coming back. Oh, my goodness. An absolute base running of a killer base running mistake by Florida State. That runs Florida State right out of the inning. Wow. We're at the stretch. 3-3, Seminoles and Huskies. Those are the kind of mistakes that you just cannot afford. So we go to the bottom of the seventh inning, still 3-3. Yeah, I have no idea. Stetzer must have thought there were two outs. That's the only thing that I can fathom. He must have got confused as to how many outs there were, because that's the only reason he would be that far off of first base on an infield pop-up. Ball one here to lead off the bottom of the seventh. 1-0 is a strike. Evens it up 1-1. Vinny Spadafora, the number 6 hitter for the Huskies, has singled and walked tonight. 1-1 is low, 2-1. Yeah, Jay Jacks, I don't know if that's the only thing I can fathom, that he just lost track of the out count. 2-1 pitch is lined into left field. That's going to be a base hit, and the Huskies have put the go-ahead run on here in the bottom of the seventh inning. And the batter will be Caden Robertson. It's 1 for 2 tonight. Kinnear still in the game on the mound for the Seminoles. He's now at 50 pitches. And the pitch is lifted foul out of play, right side, strike one. Strike one pitch is a bouncer to short. This could be two. Out at second, one on to first late. So it's going to be a fielder's choice, 6-4. One out here in the seventh inning. And it'll bring up Ivan Dahlberg. Excuse me, they're calling him safe at second. Did the second baseman miss the bag? Oh, it was a wild throw. I didn't see that. Well, yeah, it was a wild throw. It pulled the second baseman off the bag. So no fielder's choice and no out. It's first and second with nobody out. Now, Florida State's going to use a challenge here on this play at second. Now, if they don't win this challenge, that's going to be it. They won't be able to challenge again. Link Jarrett coming back out of the Seminoles dugout. Let's see here. Here's the throw. Hey, when did he come back down on the bag, though? Ooh, I don't think he did. Oh, my goodness. Here's the wild throw. He pulled the second baseman off the bag, but then he did have time to touch the bag, but I'm not sure he did. Ooh. So the killer base running error in the top of this inning, and now you could have a throwing error in the bottom of the inning. Boy, I tell you what, looking at that replay, I don't know how they're going to be able to overturn this. You can't really tell for sure if Carter McCulley's toe drags the bag or not when he's coming back down off the wild throw. They're showing it on the big screen now at Duke Martin Field. Here's a close-up view. These sometimes actually aren't as good because let's see, he's got off the bag there. Does his foot touch? No, it doesn't. No. This is going to stand, I think. Looking at that. Mike Martin. I think I said Duke Martin. Mike Martinfield. They are still looking at this. This is a big call in this game, so... Yeah, his foot doesn't come back on the bag. And the headsets are coming... No, they're not coming off. They're looking at the NCAA Replay Center is in Pittsburgh, so they are looking at this in Pittsburgh. He clearly comes off the bag on the throw. The question is, when he comes back down, does his foot graze the second base bag? I don't think it does. We're going to get the call now. Yep, safe. The call's going to stand. So it's first and second, nobody out. And an E6 on the throwing error. It looked like Florida State possibly would have had a chance for a double play. They end up getting no outs on the play. So Florida State out of challenges now. First and second, no one out for Northern Illinois. Can Kinnear get out of this? And there's clearly a bunt situation, and the bunt is foul for strike one. Ivan Dahlberg is the batter. But that foul ball got part of Hunter Carnes behind the plate. Shaken up a little bit back there. And Carnes calling time, having a word with his pitcher. Here comes the strike one pitch. Another bunt showing and pulls back, and it's low, 1-1. One pitch. Dahlberg shows bunt again, gets this one down. That's going to get the job done, and a bobble by Kinnear, and safe at first base. Another error on the Seminoles. Kinnear could not field the bunt. And the bases are loaded with nobody out. My goodness gracious. It has imploded on the Seminoles here in the seventh. It definitely would have advanced the runners, but then Kinnear just absolutely just dropped the ball when he was going to field it. Bases loaded. Ball one. Charlie Parcell, number 9 hitter for the Huskies, 0 for 2 tonight. Kinnear needs a strikeout in the worst way. And we are going to get a visit on the mound. Kinnear is at the 56 pitch mark. Pitching coach Micah Posey out to the mound, along with the whole Seminole infield. Back-to-back errors here in the seventh for the Seminoles. Kinnear staying in the game. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1. One pitch on the way. That is lined, caught by the first baseman. Double play. That was line caught by Ben Barrett, and then he stepped on first to complete the unassisted double play. That, I know we're only in the bottom of the seventh inning, but that possibly could be the play that saves the Noles season. They still got one more out to get here as we're back to the top of the order. And now what do we got? What do we got here? Wyatt Warrow's going to first base. I was actually looking away for just a second. I have no idea what was just called there. But they're giving Warrow first base. Oh, it hit him. Okay. It hit him on the right foot. Okay, yeah. I saw it on the replay. Like I say, I wasn't actually watching the play. I was looking at it. That's a big no-no. Pitch down in the dirt, ball 1. Cole Smith comes up with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Smith 0 for 3 tonight. Can the Noles get out of this? 1-0 pitch. 2-0. I thought that was ball 2 there, but the scorebug still says 1-0. That's definitely a strike. Yeah, it is. Okay, now it's 2-1. Yeah, that's okay. That's what I thought. Yeah, add 2-9B. Yeah, there bases loaded. There was a double play, and then there's a hit by pitch, so that's loaded the bases again. Here's the 2-1. Check swing. No swing, says the first base umpire, and now it's 3-1. Nowhere to put him. Will he have the 3-1 green light? 3-1, ball 4, a bases loaded walk. And the Huskies take the lead, 4-3. When it looked like the Seminoles were going to get out of the inning, he just gives up a bases loaded walk to Cole Smith. 4-3 Northern Illinois. And Nolan Sandy will be the batter, and that looks like it's going to be it for Kinnear on the mound. And it is. Signal is made. Kinnear gave it everything he had, but at 64 pitches, he may have just run out of gas here in the bottom of the 7th. Pitching change for the Seminoles. So the numbers on Kinnear, it goes 2 2/3 innings, gives up 2 hits, 1 run, 1 costly walk, and 5 strikeouts through 64 pitches. And he is responsible for the 3 runners on base. It has never been more important, I don't think. It has never been more important, I don't think, to retire this Northern Illinois hitter, Nolan Sandy, because you've got Gavin Baldwin, who's hit the 2 home runs tonight, on deck. So if Florida State ends up not coming back, I'm seeing some of it in the live chat now, and I'm at all judging. So guys in the live chat, don't even think this. But there will be second guessing. Did Kinnear stay in maybe an inning too long? Seminoles still have at bats left. They still have 6 outs left. It's only a 1-run game right now. By the way, new pitcher for the Seminoles is Brody Purcell. Purcell out for the 23rd time, 4-2 record, 1.38 ERA, 20 walks, 51 strikeouts in 34 2/3 innings. So bases loaded, 2 outs. Sandy steps up, first pitch, strike 1. That is true. Live chatters, a good point. Yeah, Seminoles just have not been able to get the key hits tonight either. 0-1 pitch is high, 1-1. Sandy hitless in 3 at-bats tonight. He's actually struck out all 3 times. He's got the hat trick tonight on strikeouts. 1-1 pitch is hit foul, and that will get out of play, and the count now 1-2. St. John's awaits the winner in the regional final tomorrow for 1, possibly 2 games. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That is hit in the air to right field. That's going to be playable. And the catch made to end the inning. But the Huskies break the tie on the bases loaded walk. We head to the 8th. Huskies lead it 4-3. Three, 4, and 5 hitters due up for the Seminoles in the 8th inning. It's a 1-run game, but it could have been a lot worse in that 7th inning. Seminoles still have 6 outs to work with. Excuse me. Go cinnamon rolls in the live chat. So here we go, top of the 8th inning. New Northern Illinois pitcher in the game, by the way, Danny Sahaki. So Carter Cox goes 7 innings for the Huskies. Sahaki coming in the game, 7-2 record, 5.1 ERA, 31 walks, 78 strikeouts in 90 innings. So here we go. Top of the 8th inning. Seminoles need 1 and have 6 outs to do it. First pitch is a strike. So the numbers on the starter, Carter Cox, what a performance he gave the Huskies tonight. 7 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts, but did not allow a run after the second inning. 0-1 pitch misses, a ball and a strike. One pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2. One-two pitch outside. 2-2. Two pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. They will have to throw down to first to complete the out, and they do. 1 out. And now the cleanup hitter, Hunter Carnes, steps up for Florida State. Carnes hitless in 3 at-bats tonight. First pitch right down the middle, strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch bounced up there, a ball and a strike. One pitch is high, 2-1. Two-one pitch. That's a strike. Oh, that looked. I think Hunter Carnes thought that ball was low too. 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 on the way. That's outside, full counts. Walk is just as good right now. Three-two payoff pitch. Hit foul. Carnes stays alive. Three-two payoff pitch on the way. Here it is. Ball 4 low, and the tying run is on for the Seminoles. So the Noles have put the tying run on base with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Ball 1. The Malin's hitless in 3 at-bats tonight. 1-0 pitch. That's down the middle, strike 1. 1-1. That's low. 2-1. Ben Barrett on deck. 2-1 pitch. That is hit foul. That'll get out of play. It's 2-2. Two and two the count with one out. Tying run at first for the Seminoles. And here's the 2-2 pitch. Down in the dirt. Nice stop. Full count. 3-2. So now, do you roll the dice and send the runner from first base with one out down a run? The 3-2 payoff pitch. Hit foul. Right side. That will get out of play. Be the seventh pitch of the at-bat coming up. Tying run at first is Hunter Carnes. And there he goes. Pitch is lined into left center. That's going to be a gapper. All the way to the wall. Carnes coming around third, and this game is tied on an RBI double. 4-4 in the eighth. A big RBI double to tie this game. And Ben Barrett comes to the plate. A pinch runner here at second base. As the pitch is foul for strike one. See who that is running at second base. That is Chase Williams, the pinch runner at second. Oh, 1 pitch. That's a strike. 0-2. Barrett 2 for 3 tonight. Doubled, singled, and scored one of the Seminole runs. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Bouncer to short. That will advance the runner to third. Throw to first in time. But the go-ahead run advances to third base with 2 outs. And Gabe Frazier will be the batter with the runner at third and 2 outs. Go-ahead run 90 feet away and the pinch runner of Chase Williams. Frazier's officially 1 for 1. He's singled, but he's also walked and been hit by a pitch. Here's the pitch. Ball 1. In the Huskies' half of the 8th inning, it'll be the middle third of the order. Baldwin, Romero, and Spadafora. .1-0 pitch, misses again, 2-0. Everybody standing at Mike Martin Field. 2-0 pitch. Strike. 2-1. Two-one pitch. That's down the middle for strike 2. Evens the count 2-2. Two-two delivery. Bounced foul, and we'll do it again. I think I've just set a live chat record tonight in my first year on the bed. I can't thank you guys enough. You're appreciated more than you realize tonight. You guys have been awesome. 2-2 payoff. Check swing hit to third. And the throw across the diamond in time to end the inning. But the Seminoles tie it with the RBI double as we head to the bottom of the 8th. We are square again. Seminoles and Huskies 4-4. Middle third of the order for the Huskies coming up in the bottom of the 8th inning. My 87. Watch a home run for NIU. Well, you know who's up to lead off the bottom of the 8th. We're able to retire him last time on a strikeout. Four runs, 5 hits. I'm sorry. Yeah, 4 runs, 5 hits for the Huskies. 4 runs, 9 hits for the Seminoles. This game will be decided by the bullpens. I'm a fished it. Would you put him on? I mean, a tie game in the 8th inning. Would you actually put him on base and put the go-ahead run on? I mean, I get why you're saying that, but I don't know. Yeah. So here is Baldwin to lead off the bottom of the 8th. We'll see indeed how the Seminoles do pitch to him. He fouls this back. He was swinging away on the first pitch, 0-1. Okay, I was just okay. Even if they were up a run, I'd say maybe, but 0-1 swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Yeah, he's it's been the offense for the most part for Northern Illinois tonight, that's for sure. Time called before the 0-2 pitch. Baldwin steps back in the box. And the 0-2. Down low, 1-2. Oh, Christian, New York man, ESPN Plus stop playing for you. I hope ESPN isn't having more issues. They've had a few of those this weekend. It's still going for me right now. 1-2, a swing and a miss. Baldwin strikes out. 1 out in the 8th. Baldwin strikes out for the 2nd time, and now Marcus Romero will be the batter. Romero hitless in 3 at-bats tonight. Ball 1. One 0 pitch. That's in the dirt. 2-0. Yeah, Northern Illinois is the home team tonight. Whoever that was that just posted that in the live chat. I've called Florida State the home team like 3 or 4 times tonight, but 2-0 pitch is high. It's now 3-0 to Romero. Here's a 3-0 taken all the way and hits the inside corner for strike 1. Spadafora on deck. He's perfect at the plate tonight. 3-1 hits the outside corner. Full count. Three-two payoff pitch. Hit foul. Another 3-2 payoff. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Back-to-back strikeouts for Brody Purcell. And it'll bring up Vinny Spadafora with the bases empty and 2 outs. He's got a perfect night at the plate going 2 for 2. And the pitch misses low and inside, ball 1. One 0 pitch is a strike at the knees. One is foul, and the count goes to 1-2. One-two payoff pitch down low, 2-2. Two-two pitch. Swing and a miss. Purcell strikes out the side in the 8th inning. We head to the 9th. 4-4 Seminoles and Huskies. So this game will come down to the 9th inning. Maybe, unless we play extras. Seminoles in the ninth will have the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. McCauley, Fisher, and then the top of the order, Stetzer. Updating some of these other scores real quick. Number 4, Auburn leading UCF 8-3. That game in the bottom of the 8th inning. Oklahoma looks like they're going to force a winner-take-all game tomorrow against Georgia Tech. Oklahoma up 15-8 in the 9th inning. Kansas 13-9 over Arkansas. Kansas heads to the Super Regionals with a win there. Alabama 5, Oklahoma State 4, bottom of the 6th. Alabama heads to Supers with a win. Oregon State 1-1, bottom 3. Number 14, Mississippi State 8-2 over Louisiana. Mississippi State heads to Supers with a win. That's a update on some of those other games across the country. Here we head to the 9th. McCauley, the batter, takes strike 1. McCauley tonight 0 for 3, does have an RBI ground out way back in the 2nd inning. Strike 1 pitch is outside. That'll even the count 1-1. One pitch is high, 2-1. Two-one pitch, that's a strike. 2-2. Two-two pitch on the way. Lined into right field, but right at the right fielder. And the catch made by Robertson for the first out. Boy, that was hit pretty well, but right at Robertson in right field. 1 out. So here's the number 9 hitter, Cal Fisher. 1 for 3 tonight. First pitch down low in the dirt, ball 1. Tyler, call the pitch. Okay, I apologize. I thought I was, Tyler, but okay, I'll try and keep an eye on that. 1-0 pitch is grounded to third on 1 hop. Throw across the diamond in plenty of time, and there's the second out here in the top of the 9th inning. And we're back to the top of the order. Stetzer with the bases empty and 2 outs. Looking to the Huskies, bottom of the 9th. Robertson, Dahlberg, and Parcell, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. And the first pitch off the plate for ball 1. Stetzer 2 for 4, doubled and singled. Drove in a run and scored a run. Swing and a miss on the 1-0 pitch. 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's up and in. 2-1. 90-mile-an-hour fastball on that one. Oh, that's what you... Okay. I will... 2-1 pitch. That's upstairs. 3-1. Okay, Tyler. Yeah, that's one thing I have not been doing, so I'll try to do a better job on that one for you. My apologies on that. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. That's a fastball, swing and a miss. Oh, count is full, 3-2. Here comes the 3-2 payoff pitch. Called strike 3. Stetzer strikes out looking. 3 up, 3 down go the Seminoles in the 9th. Zahaki fired up as he comes off the mound. Huskies need a run to win it in the bottom of the 9th. 4-4 our score. Again, the bottom third of the Husky order due up. Robertson, Dahlberg, and Parcell in the bottom of the 9th. At 29, we had walk-off home run, says in the live chat. Well, you're in the bottom of the order here, so it will... Robertson, who's leading off here for Northern Illinois. I was looking at the stats. He does have 14 homers this year. Has that game gone final in Lawrence? Yep. Kansas Jayhawks off to the Super Regionals. That is now a final. Kansas defeats Arkansas 13-10. So Kansas punches their ticket to the Supers. Oh, Terry Corn, appreciate that. Yeah, ESPN's made a lot of people none too happy over the weekend with this coverage, and I must say, rightfully so. There's been questionable programming decisions, to say the least. So here we go. Bottom of the 9th. Robertson leads off, swing and a miss. Strike 1. So Kansas joins Georgia, North Carolina, and now Texas, who has beat Santa Barbara into the Super Regional round. 0-1 pitch is a strike at the knees. That looked like a slider. 0-2. Joe Cataldo from Englewood in the house. Welcome aboard. 0-2 pitch is down low. 1-2. One-two pitch downstairs, 2-2. We've had a lot of Florida State fans in the live chat tonight, but notice a few Husky fans have joined in over the last couple, 2-3 innings. Here's the 2-2 pitch, pop foul. That's out of play. Count stays 2-2. Another 2-2. Fastball got him. 94 on the fastball. 1 out in the 9th. And here comes Ivan Dahlberg. If this game gets to the 10th, it'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Seminoles. Dowd, As a pitch is high for ball one. Brody, because I don't want to mess his name up again. And Carnes. One 0 pitch to Dahlberg is upstairs, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's not even close. 3-0. So Dahlberg with a 3-0 count. The 3-0 pitch is outside, and that's a 4-pitch walk to Dahlberg. Winning run on for the Huskies with 1 out. And it'll bring up Charlie Parcell. Parcell hitless in 3 at-bats tonight. Yeah, phenomenal game tonight. This is what you like to see in an elimination game. 2 teams leaving it out on the field. Showing bunt and taking outside. That's 5 straight out of the strike. So now you're in a tie game with 1 out in the 9th inning. I understand bunting, getting the runner to second, but do you really want to give up an out in a tie game in the 9th inning? Well, he shows bunt again and fouls it. 1-1. 1-1 pitch, shows bunt again and pulls back. 2-1. Hillman Hive, who should I bet on? This is a very... I might stay away from this one if you're on the betting, because this is... Parcell is the 9-hole hitter, yes, whoever just asked that in the live chat. 2-1 pitch, there's a bunt, back to the pitcher. The throw is high, but able to keep his foot on the bag is the first baseman Barrett for out number 2. That was almost another wild throw. The winning run goes to second, but now with 2 outs. Like I said, well, you're back to the top of the order, Wyatt Warrow. I don't know that you give an out up there in a tie game. Well, so the winning run in scoring position for Warrow, ball 1. Warrow's 0 for 3 tonight. He's been hit by a pitch. 1-0 pitch. That's hit foul. 1-1. Oh, I'm supposed to be calling. I'm sorry, Tyler. I'm supposed to be calling that. I'm trying to do better on that, and I. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. That was a fastball, 92 miles an hour, right down the pipe. 1-2. 1-2 pitch on the way. Got him! A swing and a miss. Purcell strikes out Warrow, and we go to the 10th in this elimination game. 4-4, Seminoles and Huskies. Extra innings to decide who heads to the regional final. Again, it's the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Seminoles. Dowd. I don't want to mess this up again. DeLamelere. That's not right. I know it's not. And Carnes. The Lamalier. Yeah, I knew that wasn't right after I said that. Yep. What's that about the ESPN app? It's in front of you. Okay, I don't, MRP 3393. I don't know if that's referring to me or not. ESPN app is in front of you. I'm not sure what you're referring to. I've just got like the line score of the picture, which is not updating very well, I have noticed tonight. And I don't really look at it, so unless I by chance look over, because I try not to look at it, because like I said earlier, I know it's a little bit ahead of where I am. I apologize, but I don't want to hide I don't want to hide it. So here we go. Top of the 10th. Braden Dowd leads it off for the Seminoles. First pitch down the middle, strike one. Yeah, I know. That's why on the strikeout, I know it's a little ahead of me. 0-1 pitch is outside, 1-1. Guys, I'm going to leave it up to you. Do you want me to hide the screen and just go by my call, or do you want me to leave it up there? 1-1 is low, 2-1. Leave it. Okay. Hide. Well, I've got it's conflicting in the live chat here. And that 2-1 pitch misses, 3-1. Okay, leave. Okay, yeah. That's the right decision. Yeah, I really didn't want to take it off, even though I know it's ahead. Here's a 3-1. That's a strike. I think Dowd thought it was ball 4, and the count is full. Okay, the decision's been made. I'm leaving it. 3-2 payoff. That's hit foul. Count stays 3-2. Everybody standing at Mike Miller Field as they've been since about the 8th inning. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. That's a leadoff walk to Dowd in the 10th. Mike Martin Field, yeah, what'd I say? I called it Duke Martin earlier, but what'd I say this last time? Oh, Mike. Okay, I said Mike. Yes, I did say Mike. Excuse me. Throw over to first, runner back. Dowd the lead at first. It's not a big one. And another throw over. And diving back again is Dowd. Here's the pitch. Up the middle. That's through for a base hit. Rounding second, and Dowd heads to third. It's runners at the corners. Nobody out for the Noles in the 10th. Ryan Sankar, no. College does not do the ghost runner on 10th, ghost runner on second to start extra innings. Thankfully, college has not gone to that rule. Because I'm sorry, that Major League Baseball going to that ghost runner starting the 10th is about the dumbest rule in the history of professional sports. So here we go. Runners at the corners. Nobody out. Ball one. Hunter Carnes, the batter. He's 0 for 3. He has walked and scored. 1-0 pitch. In the air to left center. That should be deep enough to drive in the run. There's the catch. Dowd with the tag. Throw comes into second. Noles lead at 5-4 on a sacrifice fly in the 10th. Sacrifice fly by Hunter Carnes breaks the tie. Yep, Jason Purdue in the live chat. Sack fly is still a run. Yep, that's right. It still counts on the scoreboard. So 1 out now, and Chase Williams will get his first at bat. He came on as a pinch runner back in the 7th inning. Pitch is a strike. He is in the DH spot now. Oh, 1 pitch inside. 1-1. One pitch, and now we've got some catcher gear repair. So time called. Something came loose there on the catcher's gear from Ivan Dahlberg. Oh, Florida State, that's a good question. Who is going to come out for the 10th? Do you stick with Purcell? So the equipment is fixed, and now we're back to playing. 1-1 pitch to Williams is hit to first. There's the tag of the bag for out number 2. Baldwin thought about throwing to second, but decided to take just the sure out at first base for out number 2. Yeah, Jack, you're right. First of all, I'm glad to do it. And yeah, ESPN's been getting greedy with their plus package. So here's 2 outs now with a runner at second. Ben Barrett, the batter. Check swing over to first. No swing. Ball 1. Barrett has doubled and singled tonight. 2 for 4, and he has scored a run. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. In the air to right. That's hit pretty well. And that ball is out of here. 2-run home run for Ben Barrett and a 3-run 10th for the Seminoles. It's 7-4. A 3-run top of the 10th. Barrett, the big blow, the 2-run homer. Gabe Fraser will be the batter. This has been a fun one, and there's the curtain call for Ben Barrett. Pitching change for Northern Illinois, but Ben Barrett has blown the roof off with a 2-run home run to right. 7-4 Seminoles in the 10th. I appreciate that, man. Now, sometimes I know I get a little loud. That's why I wanted to check earlier to see if I was getting too loud or not. But St. John's awaits the winner here in the championship game. And I'm trying to see what time that. Yeah, that's still TBD on the game time tomorrow. It's probably going to depend on what else happens across these West Coast games tonight. Oh, Timothy Flynn, Charlestown, Indiana. Okay, that's not too far from. That's just a little bit south of where I am. I'm just about 25 miles south of Indy. Or 25 minutes south of Indy, I should say. Yeah. I see who's coming in. John Lyman is coming in to pitch here for the Huskies. John Lyman on the year out for the 20th time. 0-1 record, 8.53 ERA. I was looking at the wrong thing. 11 walks, 15 strikeouts, 12 2/3 innings. A big 10th inning for Florida State. And they are 3 outs away from advancing to the regional final. First pitch from Lyman's a swing and a miss. Strike one pitch showing bunt. And pulled it back in time, did Frazier. That'll even the count 1-1. One pitch is on the ground to second. And the throw over to first in time to end the top of the 10th. But a 3-run top of the 10th. Big blow. The Ben Barrett 2-run home run. And the Seminoles need 3 more outs to advance to the regional final. 7-4 going to the bottom of the 10th. Timothy Flynn, Florida State, October the 9th, Florida State makes that business. I have never been to that, I say new football stadium in Louisville. It's not really new anymore, but I have never been there yet. And like I say, just being south, I'm only about a little over an hour drive from Louisville. I'll get down there one of these days. Haven't been to a game in the Yum Center yet either. So we head here to the bottom of the 10th. Now the Huskies need a big rally, down by 3 and just 3 outs left to get it. Cole Smith, Nolan Sandy, and Gavin Baldwin, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Huskies. Jason Purdue, you made this call, did you? Well, good call there. Oh, Spencer DeWitt, I appreciate the kind words tonight. I've actually looked and I have picked up. I appreciate each of you that have subscribed tonight. And like I say, I believe this is a live stream record viewership count for me tonight. And you guys, I appreciate you all that have tuned in tonight more than you realize. You guys are awesome. So here we go. Bottom of the 10th. Cole Smith to lead it off. First pitch, strike one. Oh, 1 pitch. That's lifted foul, and it's quickly 0-2. I'm going to say something here at this at bat to all you Noles fans that are in the live chat tonight. It's good, trust me. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Oh, no. That looked like it was right down the pipe. Wow. But it's called a ball. My goodness. I have no idea where that pitch missed. But that's for sure a strikeout, a swing and a miss. 1 out in the 9th inning. Florida State fans, to your athletic director, to your entire sports, thank you for not dropping your Seminole Indian chief as a mascot. Here's Nolan Sandy. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's hit foul, and the count goes to 1-1. One 1-1 strike, 1-2. Yeah, the Seminole, not only for all that, but that Seminole coming out for a football game, seeing the Seminole Indian chief come out and drop that into that is one of the best pregame traditions in college football. 1-2 pitch is on the ground. Nice play there at first. Throw over to the pitcher covering in time for out number 2. And the Seminoles are 1 out away. So it's up to Gavin Baldwin, who has homered twice tonight for Northern Illinois, but he is coming up with the bases empty and 2 outs. Chief Osi, I don't know what the name is, but Chief Renegade, is it Chief Renegade? Okay, I should be honest, I didn't know what its name was. Ball 1. I'm a fish stick if you're referring to Baldwin. At least he's up for Florida State with the bases empty, so he can't. All he could do is bring it to a 2-run game. Swing and a miss. Okay, Osceola's the chief and Renegade's the whole. Okay, I did. 1-1, a strike, and now the Seminoles are a strike away. 1-2 outside, 2-2. Osceola. Osceola's the chief. Okay. And Renegade's the okay. Unless I never knew what there's Baldwin up the middle, and there's a base hit. So the Huskies still alive for now. Smoke out. I can't tell you for sure if I'm going to be doing the game tomorrow yet or not, because I do still have a full-time job, so it's actually going to depend on the start time. But I have a feeling it's going to be an early start. So unfortunately, the answer is probably going to be no. So here's Marcus Romero, ball one. Romero's 0 for 4. He has struck out 3 times tonight. He needs to get on to get the tying run to the plate for the Huskies. Strike one. Daniel in the live chat. St. John's awaits the winner of this game in the regional final. And the winner, even though whoever comes out of this is still going to have to beat St. John's twice tomorrow. 1-1 pitch, strike, and again, the Huskies down to their final strike. Fans on their feet. And time called by Romero before the 1-2. That's St. John's, Florida State. What was that, 12-10 or something on Friday, I think was that final score in that St. John's, Florida State game? One-two pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's it. Purcell closes it out. Seminoles with a rally and a 3-run 10th to win it, 7-4. And the Seminoles advance to the regional final against the St. John's Red Storm. 3rd consecutive appearance in the regional final for Florida State. Look at the excitement on those kids. Seminoles get win number 40, go to 40-18. Northern Illinois season ends at 36-19. What a ball game tonight in the regional final. 7 runs, 11 hits, 3 errors for Florida State. 4 runs, 6 hits for Northern Illinois. Purcell ends up the winning pitcher. And John Lyman suffers the loss for Northern Illinois. Guys, you have been absolutely fantastic, and I want to thank each and every single one of you that has tuned in tonight. As like I said, I set a viewership record tonight, and I cannot begin to thank each of you enough. You have been absolutely fantastic. Thank you for tuning in. And this should be a fun one tomorrow, Florida State and St. John's for the regional title. With the winner to take on the winner of the Tuscaloosa Regional. Has that thing gone final yet? I'll look and see if that's gone final yet before I sign off for the night. Well, Alabama and Oklahoma State 6-6 in the bottom of the 8th inning. And that game, of course, is airing on ESPN+. So the Noles, 7-4, and a berth with the St. John's Red Storm in the championship game. What a game tonight. Two teams that left it all on the field. Gonna update the run down the scoreboard real quick before sign all this. The game's in progress. I said 7-seed Alabama 6-all with Oklahoma State, bottom of the 8th, number 14 Mississippi State's gonna on their way to supers. They're destroying Louisiana 13-3. Arizona State 4, Ole Miss 3, top of the 7th. Good one going on in Lincoln. Oregon and Oregon State civil war for the Eugene Regional Final. That's 1-1 in the 6th. USC is all over Texas A&M, 9-1 in the bottom of the 4th. Little Rock 3, Jacksonville State 2. Little Rock advances to Super Regionals with a win there. And St. Mary's has a 2-1 lead over Cal Poly, bottom 5. Still to come tonight, it's an 11-10 first pitch in Auburn, Alabama, between number 4 Auburn and Milwaukee. Still no game time on St. John's and Florida State. Again, it's probably going to depend on the rest of the action on these West Coast games to see which series will still be going on and everything. So no start time yet for that St. John's Florida State game tomorrow. That will probably be announced after the conclusion of all the games tonight. Again, my name is John, Sports Bonanza John on YouTube. Appreciate all you subscribers tonight. Also on Kick tonight at Sports Kick John. I will be back hopefully tomorrow sometime. I have to look at the schedule. It'll probably have to be an evening game if we have a game that goes into the evening tomorrow. So I want to transfer to a Florida State fan. Well, we'll see what happens. How's that? So I will try and have an update on my page tomorrow. Probably won't be until tomorrow afternoon when I know a little bit more as to what game I might be on for tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be able to come on for something tomorrow for y'all. Florida State wins it 7-4. They face St. John's in the Tallahassee Regional Final. Thank you, everybody. Again, appreciate each and every single one of you more than you realize. You've been great. I will talk to you down the road. Good night, everybody. Have a great night.